The world is in suspense for what could prove to be one of the most shocking and disturbing mysteries of the last 100 years. A secret long jealously guarded within the walls of the Vatican. A prophecy as dark as it is terrifying, which since its conception has fueled worship and legend among the faithful in every corner of the globe. But now, after a suspenseful, decades-long silence, the moment of truth has finally arrived. The Holy Father himself, Pope Francis, has decided to break the ice and bring to light what has remained shrouded in darkness for too long. The legendary third secret of Fatima. Welcome to World of Faith, where we will explore together the fascinating world of miracle and divine prophecy. In Portugal, there is a climate of feverish anticipation for the imminent arrival of Pope Francis, who is preparing to undertake a journey with mystical and spiritual overtones, destined to remain engraved in the history of the Church. The pontiff will in fact travel to the sacred places of Fatima to celebrate the centenary of a prodigious event that still today continues to fuel worship and devotion in millions of faithful from every corner of the globe. It was in that very small Portuguese village that a century ago 3 humble shepherds claimed to have witnessed a series of mysterious apparitions, which they firmly believed to be of the Virgin Mary herself. Their extraordinary testimonies, carefully documented and kept in the most remote archives of the Vatican, also included the repeated mention of a dark third secret, a cryptic prophecy never fully revealed until today, and which has kept entire generations of Catholics in suspense. Decades of intense speculation and imaginative conspiracy theories have passed, with so-called seers and experts of every stripe trying to penetrate their true meaning, sometimes reaching disturbing conclusions and harbingers of tragic apocalyptic scenarios. But now, in an epochal gesture destined to remain etched in history, it is Pope Francis himself who has decided to shed light on this ancient enigma, breaking the deadlock and finally making public the truth that has been kept silent for so long. A revelation that has been awaited for decades, which according to initial rumors could reserve for us disconcerting revelations about the fate of the world and of humanity as a whole. Before we go any further, please subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Make sure you don't miss a moment, because we have an important question to share with you. According to information leaked by the most reliable sources, the legendary third secret of Fatima contains chilling details about a terrifying prophetic vision had by 3 little Portuguese shepherds, Lucia Santos and Francesco, and Jacinta Mardo, in the now distant year 1917. The 3 children are said to have described the disturbing specter of a flaming sword, ready to engulf the entire world in a divine judgment of fire and calamity, before being calmed by the supernatural radiance emanating from the Madonna herself. But the horror of those revelations would not end there. An angelic entity, after having imparted that dramatic warning, then shouted out 3 times a gloomy call to penance. 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 A stern warning to spiritual repentance and the abandonment of sins by all humanity, if one wanted to avert the fatal wrath of the flaming sword. Perhaps the most gruesome and horrifying part of these prophetic visions, however, should concern a scene of unheard of violence and cruelty, where even the Supreme Pontiff, living symbol of the Church of Christ, is tragically sacrificed to martyrdom together with prelates, religious and faithful from every social class. According to the disturbing responses of the mystical prophecy, the Holy Father was seen crossing a city completely razed to the ground, with the corpses of the victims of the massacre plentifully lining his path towards the ultimate torment. Finally reaching the top of a steep mountain, surmounted by the imposing shape of a cross erected with rustic tree trunks, the Pope is said to have knelt in a final act of prayer and devotion, before being murdered in cold blood by a group of ruthless, heavily armed hitmen. The horrendous massacre did not, however, spare the many bishops, priests, and religious who had flocked to his side, who were also mowed down by that crossfire of murderous bullets and arrows. According to industry experts, it would be a truly horrifying and bloody allegory, which should, however, be interpreted in a symbolic way as a solemn warning to all humanity. The unfolding of that tragic vision would in fact represent a metaphor for the inevitable triumph of evil if the teachings of faith were abandoned and trampled upon. Despite the reassuring attempts of the ecclesiastical authorities to mitigate its significance and tone down its truculent tones, the revelation of the content of this shocking prophecy, shrouded in mystery, has already provoked a hornet's nest of controversy and protests from skeptics, who consider it to be a true apocalyptic warning about the dark fate reserved for humanity. For the faithful, however, the third secret of Fatima would rather represent a severe reminder to strengthen their moral and spiritual principles. In an era increasingly permeated by materialism, superficiality, and distance from authentic evangelical values, an authoritative memento that invites each of us, whatever our beliefs, to rediscover the importance of penance and faith in order to face the moral dangers and pitfalls that loom over the very course of civilization. Did you know that prayer is the best tool we have? For this very reason, I want to invite you to pray with me. Let us close our eyes together and say together, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail, Queen Mother of Mercy. Hail, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To thee do we cry, we exiled children of Eve. To thee do we sigh, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. Come then, our advocate, turn your merciful eyes towards us, and show us, after this exile, Jesus, the blessed fruit of your womb. O clement, O pious, O sweet Virgin Mary. And you, what do you think about this incredible story? Write your answer in the comments. I can't wait to read your opinion. If you've come this far, it means you like our content. Why not help us grow even more by subscribing to the channel? And if you liked this video, don't forget to leave us a nice like. It's the best way to let us know that you like our content and that you want to see more. See you in the next video.